Hi, my name's Damien, and today I'm going to talk to you about Enneagram Type 9. This is Enneagram Life. So, Enneagram Type 9 is a really relaxed, chilled, mellow Enneagram type. They're the friendliest Enneagram type. They're really calm. Definitely calm is a very good word to describe Enneagram Type 9. They're an anger type. There's 3 anger types, the 8, the 9, and the 1. So anger is at the core of all of these 3 types. But even though anger is at the core of the 9, they're characterized by how they react to that anger, how they respond to that anger, and they respond to it by making it calm, by making it mellow, by ignoring anger, by downplaying anger, by weaving and moving and avoiding anger. I like to think of it as judo throwing anger. Yeah. They see anger as something that's like not a very helpful emotion or a very useful emotion. They want to get along with people, and they see anger as a very destructive emotion in terms of people interacting together. And in themselves, they want to be calm and they want to be relaxed. And anger is definitely not, anger is like the opposite of that. So they have a lot of strategies for avoiding or managing anger that are not like directly repressing anger, and they're not embracing anger like, say, the Type 8. The Type 8 is the most angry type in the Enneagram, and they express anger and consume anger. That's the Type 8. And then there's the Type 9, which I said judo throws anger. So by that I mean they don't directly try to suppress anger. Rather, they dodge that anger, or they change the angle they're standing on, the anger flies past them. The Type 1 is the other anger type, and they repress and suppress anger. So this repression of anger by the Type 1, it makes the Type 1 so tight and stiff. And the Type 8, they are pretty much always angry. Not always, but like they're very often angry. And but the Type 9 as an anger type, yeah, they're mellow and calm and loose. And yeah, that's why people like them, because they're great. People want to hang out with a calm, chilled person. And they see anger as like, they don't take it seriously often. They see it as ridiculous. Sometimes they will laugh a lot if they see people getting angry and they're not in that situation. Like if they saw the neighbor getting real angry because the dog ate his newspaper, and they're looking out the window and they can see this happening to the neighbor. The Type 9 is probably going to have a real laugh over something like that. They will get angry themselves, but like immediately their reaction will be to just try and calm and relax and be comfortable. So like, let's say you're in a traffic jam, and the Type 9's in a traffic jam, and all of a sudden they notice that there's an accident ahead and they're going to be there for a long time. They're going to go like, damn, the Type 9. But it's not going to be like a really loud damn, it's just going to be like a damn. And then they're immediately going to like try and get comfortable and chill back and relax and make the most of the situation, maybe turn the radio on, that type of thing. So it sounds all pretty good. It sounds like they're such great people, but there is a downside to this outlook, this behavior. Often in group situations, they feel that they have been taken advantage of. Their good nature has been taken advantage of, because they feel like they have tried to help everyone get along. They really want, like that group cohesive type of everyone getting along, peace and calm. And often they will like they'll be in situations where they're passively disagreeing with people and they're going along with things they don't agree with. And this can create a lot of resentment in them. Yeah, so downsides like that. So they're also a type that when you have conversations with them, they can be very sort of uninvolved, almost like non-reactive. Like the things they talk about, and some of that is laziness and passiveness, because laziness and passiveness are some of the things that can happen when you have that mentality of, or you're in that space of just take it easy and calmness. And so, yeah, when you're talking to them, they can be unresponsive, and they can be like not. They don't make a lot of defining statements, and like a defining statement, a lot of other types they'll tell you what they think of the world. They'll tell you what they think's bad and what they think's good, and who they think's trustworthy and who's not trustworthy, and who they like and who they don't like, and who they believe and don't believe, and what we should be doing, what we shouldn't be doing. These are like defining statements. Whereas the 9, like those type of statements, you can see how they can create flare-ups and they can create different sides and arguments. So 9, they tend to be more interested in, they'll talk to you about like, they want to know what you had for dinner or what you normally eat for breakfast, and they want to know, like, they really want to know about your relationships, like who your friends are, and they want to know, like, well, where'd you meet them? Where'd you meet your friends? And how often do you see them? They really want to know all that sort of information. When did you see them last? Yeah, that's the sort of things that interest them. They want to talk about. Sometimes they can become like, because they have that issue, well, they can have an issue of being non-confrontational, and that can lead to resentment in them, and then they might try to intentionally be angry and then get angry at things that are really inappropriate to get angry at, because they're annoyed that they didn't get angry in the past so many times when they should have gotten angry, and now they're looking for that opportunity, and then they'll get angry over something that's really, minute, and they shouldn't be getting angry about. And when that happens, they look very kind of uncomfortable in their angriness. They look like, it looks like a forced emotion, which it is in a sense. Like it's to strictly use the word forced emotion. Well, I don't want to use that term strictly, but it definitely looks like, a very intentional reaction. And yeah, so they are linked to the type 6 and the type 3. So at times of growth, they move towards the type 3. At times of stress, they move towards the type 6. That means, for example, at times of growth, they're going to move towards the positive aspects of the type 3 personality, where they will like tell you who they are and tell you what they believe. That's the type 9. They'll tell you these things, which is very more sort of like a type 3. But that's them when they're in a positive state and they're coming out of the restrictions of their personality. And they'll be motivated about trying to achieve things. This is, that movement towards the type 3. And then the movement towards the type 9 at times of stress, that's when they'll take on the negative aspects of the type 6. The type 9 will move towards the type 6 and take on the negative aspects of the type 6 at times of stress, by doing things like becoming very distrustful of people, doubting people, assuming the worst. The type 9 can sort of become paranoid, and when they're really stressful, and things like that. But yeah, generally speaking, they're a pretty nice guy that wants to get along with everyone and is friendly. I think that's a pretty good summary. And if you like this, please comment, press the like button, and subscribe.